In this episode, I'm sharing how challenging yourself is a sure way to grow on your journey. Listen as I share my challenge journey and how you can use this practice to give you the clarity, courage, and confidence to step into your next level. Hello, and welcome to the Beautiful Reflections podcast. I'm your host, Katherine Johnson, a certified professional coach, mentor, writer, and speaker. I help professional women gain the clarity, confidence, and courage to pursue their bigger purpose and vision so that they can have fulfillment and thrive in their careers. I believe there is beauty in our voices, beauty in our stories, and beauty in our journeys. There is power in community, connection, and deep, meaningful conversation, which is why me and my guests are here to share our stories, experiences, lessons, and learning to inspire you as you walk the path and step into your next level. We go deep, sharing beautiful reflections of what this personal growth journey looks like in real, living color. This journey of pursuing our purpose and vision as we continue to evolve. It is my mission to empower you to believe in your power, to embrace your own uniqueness, and to be the best version of you. I want to see you thrive purposefully. Now on to the episode for today. Hello, and welcome to the Beautiful Reflections podcast. I'm your host, Katherine Johnson. Today's episode is all about challenges, specifically how challenging yourself is a sure way to grow on your journey. In fact, I think it's absolutely necessary as you step into your greater purpose and vision. So if you're ready for more, something different, or to step into your next level, you'll find this episode extremely valuable and insightful. If you're a new listener, I want you to know that this podcast is all about personal growth. It's all about empowering you to see yourself and to believe in yourself so that you can be your best self and live your best life. My goals are 1, that you'll be inspired as me and my guests share our journeys and what has been the beautiful reflection. 2, that you will see yourself in our stories and reflect on your own journey. And 3, that you will learn insightful information to support you where you are now and help you step into your next level. When I say next level, I'm talking about the greater purpose that you have for your life. You know, those big goals and dreams. I'm talking about the next level you that needs to show up in order for you to have what you say you want. For me, I'm committed to having purpose, fulfillment, freedom, and to thrive. And I'm here to support you in doing the same. Now, this leads me right into what we're talking about today. Challenges. One of my favorite things. I've always loved a good challenge. When I was a kid, I loved racing other kids in the neighborhood and at school. I've always been very competitive and I don't like to lose. I've always been into personal growth, which back then I called self-help or self-improvement. I stay in that section at the bookstore. And of course, the romance and fiction sections too. I didn't know that this was like a lifelong journey type of thing. So with all that said, I've used personal challenges as a way to stretch, to grow, and to evolve on my journey. And if you ask anyone who knows me, they will tell you that I'm always doing something. Rather it's a challenge by trying something new, a program, a course, a book, something. In fact, I'm getting ready for another 28-day detox, my 3rd one, and I'll tell you all about that shortly. Now, looking back in reflection, I can clearly see how challenging myself has supported me so much on my journey. You remember that shy, quiet, and reserved little girl who only wanted to be in her room by herself reading her books? Not to add, an introvert that avoided public speaking at all costs. A professional that preferred to just do her work independently behind the computer alone. Yeah, all of those things are parts of my journey. Challenging myself has allowed me to be where I am today. In your ear, as a certified professional coach, mentor, speaker, writer, podcaster, and don't forget, techie. So let me share with you some of the challenges that I've done so far. I challenged myself to travel alone. You heard it, alone, by myself. And for someone like me, that was a really big deal. But I got tired of waiting for other people to join me, and I wanted to travel and see the world. And I've been to as far as Hawaii.
Now that just counts partially because I actually flew there by myself, but I met some other people there. But I've been to lots of places stateside by myself alone. I challenged myself to try new things. I rode an ATV through a rainforest. I climbed Mount Batur in Indonesia, and listen for this one, I got a Brazilian. Not once, but 3 times before I finally said, enough. I challenged myself to do things that scared me, to be vulnerable with people by sharing things that I typically wouldn't share, by talking to strangers, by giving speeches, and by sharing my writing with others. I challenged myself by stretching past my perceived limitations, like a 21-day fitness challenge. Yes, 21 days of working out every single day. I did it. A 7-day juice cleanse. You heard that right. Nothing but juice for 7 whole days. Let me just say, by the end of that challenge, my body was ready for some food. A whole gallon of water every day challenge. That was hard. In the beginning, I didn't think I would be able to get down a gallon of water every day. I was going to the bathroom, it seemed like every minute of the hour. But what was amazing to me was how quickly my body adjusted to all of that water, and I didn't need to stay close to the bathroom. I also did a clean eating challenge, a plant-based challenge that didn't go quite too well, and even, listen for this one, an abstinence challenge. And that's something that I would have never shared to anyone in the past. I've also done some other challenges like meditation and journaling. As I mentioned earlier, I'm gearing up for a 28-day detox challenge, my 3rd one, and I've been on a no coffee challenge for the last 2 weeks now. So you may be wondering, okay, that seems like a lot. Why are you doing all of these things? I challenge myself as a way to push myself. I like to see what I can accomplish when I put my mind to it. And I know it sounds like a lot, especially to me, even as I say them out loud right now. But full disclosure, all of those challenges were not successful, and I was not extremely excited about all of them. For example, I wasn't excited about trying the Brazilian wax, but it was something that I always wanted to do. And I had to see if it was true what everyone said. It doesn't hurt, or it hurts the first time, and then it doesn't hurt as much. Let me tell you, I won't be doing that again. That wasn't so much as a challenge, but just me really wanting to try something new and challenge myself to do it. Even though I was like, I have a low pain tolerance. I know this is going to hurt, but I have to see what it's all about. And that goes in the bucket of I did it 3 times and I won't be doing it again. Now I can say that each challenge taught me something and consequently helped me to grow in some way. Even if the lesson was, like I said earlier, I am never doing that again. I learned something about myself. So what did I learn? Here are my 5 key takeaways. And there's more, but I'll leave it at 5 for today. Number 1, I am my only limitation. These challenges helped me to see that in many ways, I was only limiting myself. By not trying something new or trying something different, I wasn't able to see what I could really do when I put my mind to it. So I learned that in everything in life, like we're always our own limitation. Anything that we put our minds to, anything that we focus on, anything that we commit to, we learn that we can do it if we really want to. Number 2 is I can control what I'm telling myself. Now, the thing is, when you start a challenge, you start to tell yourself all kinds of things. You start to give yourself excuses. You try to give yourself permission. All types of things start running through your mind. And in my mind, these are really tests. Like it's a test of how strong I am and how willing I am to commit and to persevere. I notice all kinds of things that I tell myself, like, well, it's not that bad. Go ahead, have this one little thing, even though I'm on a clean eating challenge. Or, well, you did good enough for today. Start again tomorrow. Okay, well, what's the point? I committed to X amount of time. Or, are you sure you really want to do this? Like, why are you even doing this? Okay, that's the insecurity and the doubting and the questioning of what I'm really trying to do. But I learned that I can control what I'm telling myself. I can remind myself and tell myself what I need to hear in these moments when I'm really committed to doing something that I put my mind to. I can tell myself, well, I'm doing this because I can. I'm doing this because I want to. I'm doing this because it's teaching me something. I'm doing this because it's going to help me. I'm doing this because I want the results that it's going to give me. Number 3 is it never ends up like the crazy stories that I make up in my head. Now, I won't say that it's never that bad because now that would just be a lie. Because again, the Brazilian wax is that bad. But in reality, I have a tendency to make up all kind of crazy stories of what could possibly happen to myself. Let's talk about the juice cleanse. I'm going to die without having any food. My body needs food. I can't go that long without food. Those are some of the things that I was telling myself. And I started to make stories about all the crazy possible scenarios that could happen. I end up in the hospital. I can't breathe. Everything you can think of, I told myself during 7 days of just juicing with no food. But as I learned, it never ends up like the crazy stories that I make up in my head. Number 4 is I am more powerful than I believe. Yes, you heard it correctly. I never give myself credit or never give myself permission to really celebrate exactly how powerful I truly am. And every time I do a challenge and I complete the challenge, this is just reinforced for me. And I get to see that, wow, I did that. I can do a lot of things. So it shows me just how powerful I am. In most cases, more than I really even believe about myself or give myself credit for. And number 5, the last one goes in line with number 4 is I can do whatever I set my mind to. It goes in line with number 1 also that the only limitation is myself and the mind is the biggest barrier. So whatever I set my mind to and I commit to and I get serious about and I make a decision that this is what I'm going to do, I can do it. I can really do it. Challenges have given me clarity, courage, and confidence on my journey. They've helped me get clear on what I'm telling myself, the beliefs that are holding me back. And with this awareness, I can see where this is showing up in other areas of my life. Areas where I may be stuck or just not seeing the results that I want. So when I notice those beliefs that came up like, well, you can have this little thing. It's not that bad. Now that's an excuse. And I can ask myself, well, what other areas of my life am I making excuses that sound like this? That sounds like me trying to give myself a reason to have something or to do something when it goes against what I said that I wanted for myself or what I said I was actually doing. Challenges have given me courage because they strengthen me. They highlight my commitment, discipline, and ability to persevere through the fear and when things get hard or when things get really, really real. And lastly, they've given me confidence or belief in myself by showing me what I'm truly capable of, what I can do, even if it's something that I can't do or I fall off or have to get back on the wagon. It helps me see areas for improvement and places where I can still grow. Now, I share all of this with you so that you can see how challenges have helped me on my journey and also to show you how you can use challenges to support you on your journey, especially when you're in a place where you know that you're ready for more. You know that there's more to you and more to your life, and you are ready to make some changes. Challenges offer an opportunity to learn and to grow. They give you clarity, courage, and confidence. They stretch you past your comfort zone. They mirror to you your inner thoughts and beliefs, all of those things that sometimes stay hidden beneath the surface. They show you where you can grow, where you can be better, and where you can do better. And they reveal to you your strength, and they propel you into your next level. Like I mentioned earlier, it's such a great feeling to look back and say, I did that when I didn't think that I could, or I didn't think that I would. Now, I'm definitely not saying you have to go or you need to go out and do all of these things because these challenges have happened over the last 4 to 5 years of my life during various parts of my journey. However, I challenge you to challenge yourself in an area where you're feeling stuck or an area where you want to change, or try a challenge just because it's something you've never done and you're curious. Now, let me give you a little insight about this current challenge that I'm doing. It is a 28-day detox, and this will be the 3rd time that I've done it. And the first 2 times were definitely successful. And I'm doing it again because I want to see where my mindset is now. I want to see what beliefs I tell myself since I have grown and I have evolved, and it's something that I've done before. I want to see if I'm committed to it. I want to see the results that I'm going to have. The first couple times that I did this challenge, I saw amazing results in my body. And not just in the means of weight loss, but also I felt lighter. I felt like I had more energy. I felt vibrant. My digestion system improved. I felt brighter. It really made me feel so good on the inside. And the lightness that I had just allowed me to feel like I was moving more easily. And that showed up in my ability to be creative and to do other things that I was working on in my life. I'm all into holistic and natural living, and I'm always trying to improve my health and my well-being for the simple reason is that I want to live a long life, and I want to be healthy, and I want to be vibrant. So the 28-day detox is a part of that goal, that commitment to my health and to my vitality. And let me tell y'all, when I did the first one, I didn't think I could stick with it. I didn't think it was something that I was going to be able to complete. But honestly, I committed to it. And when I commit to something and when I make up in my mind that I can do it, then I do it. It was a challenge indeed. It wasn't easy. And most challenges, the first 3 days to first week are the most difficult because that's when all those beliefs start to come up. That's when you hear all these thoughts in your head and you're really challenged by pushing through and having the perseverance in that first 3 days to a week. But let me tell you, something amazing happens when you get over that hump. It feels so great in your body. When you start to notice the changes and you feel differently and you feel better, you actually want to continue. You want to keep doing it to see like how much better it's going to get and what else you can see about yourself, what else you can learn, how it's going to feel in your body. So that's what pushes me to do challenges like the 28-day detox challenge, which is basically a clean eating challenge where I'll be removing a lot of things from my diet to give my body a rest, to give my body a reset, and to actually heal, to heal from, things I may have put in my body that may have been toxic, to give my body the opportunity to get rid of those things, to eliminate those things, and to feel healthier, to be healthier as a result of eliminating so many different things from my diet and really giving my body a chance to reset. So that's the reason I'm doing another 28-day detox. And the coffee challenge I did because I love coffee. I love the actual taste of coffee. And I enjoy waking up in the morning and making a cup of coffee. But I'm not quite sure how much my body loves coffee. And these days, I'm really into, hormone management and being very cognizant of my hormones and keeping those things balanced. And I'm just trying to be more optimum when it comes to health and well-being. So coffee, although it's something I love, I haven't figured out if my body loves it just as much. So I do these no coffee challenges to really see how I feel, to see if I feel more energized. And let me tell you, in the beginning, of course, I feel miserable. It's like my body is literally going through withdrawals, trying to get all the coffee and caffeine out of my body. But all the times that I've done it, I would say by week 2 or week 3, I start to feel better. I haven't quite decided if I have improved in performance or not, but I'm still working to figure out if my mental clarity and focus is improved or if it's weakened by not having coffee. So that's the reason why I am doing the no coffee challenge. And I am on week 2 of that. And I'm just seeing how it goes. One of my friends said, you're just saying you're seeing how it goes. You're not committed to how many days because you don't want to commit to it. That may be kind of true, but no, I'm really just seeing how it goes. And I'm learning, listening to my body along the way. And I know that it's going to teach me something and I'm going to get something valuable out of it. Now, as you think about what your next challenge may be, I want to give you 3 questions that are going to help you along the way. The first question is, what am I telling myself right now about this challenge? This is important. Like I mentioned earlier, all kinds of thoughts are going to come into your head when you're doing it. When I was climbing the Mount Batur in Indonesia, they had taxis that would drive by you on moped type of bikes, and they would say, taxi, taxi. And this started about 10 minutes into the hike. And mind you, this hike takes about almost 2 hours to get up the mountain and almost 2 hours to get down the mountain. So just 10 minutes into the hike, there are people going by every 5 minutes, it seems, and they're saying, taxi, taxi, taxi. So I had to ask myself, okay, am I going to take the taxi at some point? Or am I going to keep trekking? Am I going to keep pushing through and keep trying to get to the top of this mountain? I chose to do this because it was something I had never done before in my life, something I could never imagine myself doing. But I wanted to see if I had the commitment, if I had the perseverance to do it. So I tried it, and I'm happy to say that I did it. It took us almost the entire 2 hours to get up. We were probably close to the last ones coming up the mountain, but we got a beautiful sunrise as a reward. We got to the top of that mountain and it was such a beautiful view. We could see for miles and miles and it was so serene. It felt so good. The air and the energy at the top of that mountain just felt like something I had never felt before in my entire life. And we also got to see steam coming up from a crater in the volcano. And it was so hot that they were able to boil eggs for us for breakfast from that crater. So it was the coolest thing. And it was cool to see the temperature changes as we got higher and higher on the mountain. We started out, it was kind of cool. We got up and it started to get warmer and warmer. But when we got to the top of that mountain, it was really, really cold. Now, as we came down that mountain, it got hotter and hotter and hotter. Mind you, the sun is up by now and it's Bali, Indonesia, so the temperature is very hot during the day. But that was a challenge that I really had to ask myself, why? What was I telling myself during the challenge? And I had to tell myself what I needed to hear to get myself to the top of that mountain. And I had to tell myself, look, I'm not taking a taxi. That's not an option for me. I am going to keep trekking up this mountain until I make it to the top. And that's what got me through. And anytime I felt like I wanted to stop or I wanted to give up or I wanted to quit, I just kept reminding myself why I was doing the challenge, what I was hoping to accomplish, and what I wanted to see, which was that beautiful sunrise that we got the opportunity to see. The second question is, why am I doing this challenge? You have to have a reason for doing the challenge because that's going to be the thing that's going to push you. That's going to be the thing that you need when it gets hard, when it gets real, and when you feel like you want to quit. And the last question is, what am I showing myself or hoping to gain by completing this challenge? You have to ask yourself and know what you're hoping to gain. There has to be some outcome that you're expecting. Like I said, for a lot of the health challenges that I do is because I want to challenge myself physically. I want to see how far I can take my body. I want to be healthy. I want to be vibrant. So that's what I'm hoping to gain. I'm helping to increase my health and better my health. And I'm showing myself if I can do it, if I'm that committed to it, if I'm that dedicated to it, and if I want it that bad. So you always have to have a goal and a reason for doing the challenge and remind yourself of these things often. Be kind to yourself along the way. Don't be hard on yourself if you fall off or if you have to get back on. The thing is that you get back on. And remember, falling off or starting over does not mean failure because you can always reset. You can always get back on and restart. But never trying, quitting, or giving up on you and what you want is a sure way to miss stepping into your true potential and what's really possible for you and your life. And that is the beautiful reflection. Thank you for listening to the podcast. I hope that you are enjoying the episodes. If you are, it would mean so much to me if you would leave a rating and a review and share the podcast with someone you know who could use the support and empowerment. Also, I'd love to hear from you. Connect with me on Instagram and LinkedIn at Katherine N Johnson. Use the hashtags Katherine N Johnson or Beautiful Reflections Podcast on Instagram to leave a comment, sharing what you're taking away and how this content is supporting you on your journey. Until next time.